Hi everybody, Rochelle here from Quebec, CICHLID. Today I'm going to be looking at 5 common deadly aquarium mistakes, so stay tuned! Thank you for joining me! Before we get started, I would like to ask you to take a moment and subscribe to the channel. There is plenty of fishy content and a lot more to come, so make sure not to miss a single video. Also, if you don't know me, well, my name is Rochelle and I own a local fish store in Terrebonne, Quebec. That is right outside of Montreal. We are open to the public and, well, this is my YouTube channel where I share my information. Enough business for today. Let's get started with mistake number 1. When you buy fish that are incompatible, the most common problem that you will get is aggression. If you're into community fish, they are not all compatible with each other. And even with American cichlids, some American cichlids are compatible with community fish, some are not. And how to help you on this, I'm not going to make this whole video about this. There are a bunch of compatibility charts on the web that can help you out. Just go in Google and type in compatibility, well, fish compatibility chart, and you'll be able to find one that suits your needs. Same goes for American cichlids. There are many levels of aggressiveness in the American cichlids, so make sure not to put a peaceful American cichlid with a semi-aggressive or very aggressive American cichlid. There are compatibility charts for this too, because you also have to keep in mind their size, right? Some of them, like Oscars, can grow up to 12 inches, whereas rams, like smaller ones, will probably grow about 2 inches. So to avoid deadly mistake, just go on Google and write compatibility chart. For African cichlids, this is where it gets a little bit more complicated, but conveniently for you, I have some videos about this on my YouTube channel that I will link somewhere up here and in the video description as well. You'll be able to find them. Basically, African cichlids should be kept with African cichlids, except some exceptions, because there are some fish that can go with African cichlids. I'm actually working on a video about that will be shown somewhere in the near future. Within African cichlids, they're not all compatible with each other, and that can be some crazy deadly mistakes. My video that I talked about is mainly about mbunas, because those are the most popular ones. So if you have mixed compatible and you still have problems with aggression in your aquarium, I have made a video about this, how to deal with aggressive fish. I'll put the link in the video description as well. So this problem is a lot more common than you'd think. If you made it to my channel and you're really passionate about fish keeping, chances are you're doing your regular water changes. The problem is many new aquarists come into the hobby and are told, oh yeah, it's simple, just put water in and they'll live. And they think that the filter, the activated carbon and everything is just made to sort of cleanse itself out, but it's not. Basically, if you haven't done any water changes since you have your aquarium, or you're just topping off, like water evaporates and you add new water, your fish are basically living in shit. How to know that this is your problem? Just do a nitrate test. You will see that it's a problem. Now, if you figure, well, I've never done water changes, I've only topped off and my fish are fine, well, keep in mind that the problems can happen over time. It's a slow killer. So you won't know at first, and after a year, let's say your fish will be sick, and it's very hard to deal with because they've been getting sick over the last year. It's not just like some random thing they picked up. Also, if every time you add new fish, they automatically die, that might be part of the issue as well. New fish that have been used to living in a clean environment, they will probably die if you put them in your aquarium. But obviously every fish is different and they react differently. So if you have a nitrate problem, the immediate solution is simple. Just do some water changes. I have some videos showing you how to make water changes in a freshwater aquarium. After that, here comes the hard part, is that you're going to have to start doing regular water changes. You can't just do one a year and just call it a day. You actually have to get with a regular maintenance routine. I mean, if you have a dog, you pick up shit every day. Well, at least with aquariums, you can do it once a week. So about 25% every week for a moderately stocked aquarium should be fine. If you overstocked it, do 33% or more depending on your needs. Test your nitrate and you'll find out what your needs are. It takes a month, a whole month, I know it's long, to properly cycle your aquarium. This means that it takes a whole month for the bacteria in your filter to have proliferated enough in order to safely add fish. Very briefly, that's it. If you add fish before the aquarium is ready, you will have ammonia spikes and nitrite spikes in your aquarium. And it's hard to deal with, especially when you have fish in there, because you really want to protect your precious little animals. And the problem with this is that many places, I don't want to name names, you've probably seen them, you know them, they'll say, oh yeah, it's normal to lose your first fish. It is not. If your environment is safe, it's not normal to lose all of your first fish and just call it a day. No, you have to give them a good environment, and you should be able to keep your fish a long time if you do things right. So basically, the best way to know if your aquarium is ready to house new fish is to test your ammonia, nitrite, and nitrate. Ammonia will be there in the beginning, especially when you're cycling your tank. If you see after about a week you have ammonia, that's good. It means stuff is happening. Eventually the bacteria will develop in your filter and they will eat the ammonia and transform it into nitrite. Nitrite is also toxic for your fish. After that, you should see it between week, let's say 2 and 3, and it will start going down eventually and be consumed and transformed into nitrate. Nitrate is the pollution in your aquarium, which you will get rid of with regular water changes. So if you test your water, you have ammonia and nitrite and no fish, hopefully, then you're safe. Just be patient. If you're a seasoned fish keeper with a healthy filter, an old tank, and you know, lots of bacteria, lots of overfiltration, you probably won't have this problem. This segment is especially targeted to new fish keepers who want to completely fill up the tank all at once. Just don't do it. Even if you've cycled your tank and it's ready to add fish, it's not ready to add 20 fish at once. You're adding a lot of bioload in that aquarium that your filter is not ready for. So this will create huge ammonia spikes, nitrite spikes, your cycle, everything will be off, and this can be the stressful part. You know, you're starting something new, you're starting a new hobby and it's not going well. Don't panic. I'm gonna go through these steps fast, but I have a whole video on how to get rid of ammonia in your aquarium. Here's what you do. So first of all, you use CChem Prime. You better have already bought this. I talk about this product in like all of my videos. CChem Prime detoxifies ammonia and nitrite. That means it makes it less toxic. Use it according to the posology on the bottle. So that should protect your fish. Make sure they don't die. After that, use a bacterial enhancer. I like Microblip Special Blend. That is my favorite because it smells so good. No, I'm being ironic here. It smells like the sewers. It's how you know it's good. Use that product, don't worry, the smell dissipates, but what it does is it feeds the bacteria in your filter. It helps your filter become more mature. This should take about a week. Feed it a little bit less so that you're generating less ammonia because your fish are pooping less. Every day, you're gonna do a 10% water change. This is just to manually remove the ammonia, nitrite, and nitrate that are all generating, and just to sort of refresh your tank for your fish a little bit. While you do your water change, during that time, add your prime and bacterial enhancers. You're gonna do this. It's not an easy fix, it's long, and finally you're gonna just have to be patient. Like I said, it takes about a week, sometimes more, to be stable. But once it's gonna be stable, I mean, you're gonna have all the good products that are essentials anyways, right at your disposal, and you're not gonna make that same mistake again. Once you've stabilized your tank and your water parameters are good, then you're ready to add new fish. So if, of course, there's room left in your aquarium for new fish. A clean tank is a healthy tank. Wrong. Inside your filter lives all that beneficial bacteria. I think I've used that word like 20 times in this video, but beneficial bacteria. That is what is keeping your fish alive. It's holding your ecosystem together. And if you clean that out in the sink the chlorine and the water temperature change can kill that bacteria. So basically you've made your environment that was hospitable for fish inhospitable. You just destroyed your ecosystem. There's a whole technique to properly rinse and clean out your filter safely. I made a whole video about it, but basically it's by not using tap water. So go check out that video if ever you have questions about this. And if you clean your filter out too much, then you're gonna have ammonia problems, and then just go back to the section where I talk about ammonia problems and the video where I talk even more in depth about ammonia problems. But yeah, if you do that, you're gonna have ammonia problems, so just fix those. So luckily this is the least common aquarium mistake, but it's the hardest to fix. When I mean contaminants, I mean chemical contaminants. I've seen this a couple times. At my local fish store, my clients come to me with their aquarium problems and I help them out, and they're the hardest to find because it's often not the aquarist's fault, it's someone who wanted to help them out. Basically what they would do is grab, let's say a sponge that had soap on it and clean out the tank, figuring, yeah, soap can't harm fish. Not everyone knows this, you know. Don't be so hard on your family if that's the case. But let them know they shouldn't have done that. Death by chemical contamination is terrifying and it's horrible because you see your fish, they just are dropping dead. Sometimes they'll have parasites, they'll get lethargic, they'll have all these weird symptoms, all different, that it's really hard to tell. And that's usually because these products that get into your tank, they will just destroy your bacteria, and well, your fish are breathing them in, so they are not doing very well. So if this happened, if you have a second aquarium, like a clean tank, you can just plop them into, do that. Switch them up, take the old tank and just clean it completely. Not like I said before, you know, by doing it the right way, not with the tap water. No, you tap water all over that place. Like, just clean it up, use vinegar, use whatever you can. You have to get rid of the product. Then you're gonna restart that aquarium, use activated carbon. Activated carbon removes contaminants. So if ever there was any left, it's going to get rid of it. If you're not the kind of person to have a million tanks around your house, what are you watching this video for? No, I'm messing with you. If you only have one aquarium, so it's going to be a little bit harder. If this is the case, you suspect somebody in your family or yourself. Sometimes it's us, we all make mistakes, it's okay. So if ever this happened and you suspect somebody put a contaminated item in your aquarium, take your fish out in a bucket of, well, the old water, you have no choice, and just empty it out completely and add new water. Close the filters while you do this. Obviously you don't want them to run dry. Put your products in, your dechlorinators and salts and buffers for African cichlids. So you've got 100% a new aquarium. For the filter, you can't 100% clean it out because there's probably some bacteria left in there, which you don't want to deal with an ammonia spike as well. So plug that filter back in and add some activated carbon. That should get rid of whatever contaminant was left. And replace the carbon every week or 2 weeks. Usually you have to replace it every month, but this time do it after 1 or 2 weeks. Do that for a month or two, just until you're sure that they're safe. You're also going to want to add some bacterial enhancers to just feed the little bacteria that's left in your filter. I mentioned the dechlorinator, so once that's done, let it run for a little bit unless you see the fish are in distress. Then just grab the fish and put him back into the tank. This is drastic, but this is for people who have a drastic problem in their aquarium. I've only seen it 4 or 5 times. But I still find that's a lot. It always happens because somebody wanted to help out and they just grabbed whatever brush they figured they could clean the tank with and put it in. Sometimes it's toys that go into the tank, but it's mostly often people trying to clean. Or let's say wanting to top off the aquarium and using a bucket that used to have the floor cleaning products in it. That's usually how these contaminations could happen. Luckily, it's rare. The trick is just to properly label your aquarium goods and make it known to everybody in your household that these, like, you're not supposed to touch my aquarium, but if ever you do, this is what you use, not whatever bucket you find. It's very important to mention that the aquarium gear is the aquarium gear and nothing else. So that's it. 5 + 1 deadly aquarium mistakes. I hope you enjoyed this video. I could have mentioned so many more, but wow, there are way too many. What deadly mistakes have you made or a friend made? I won't judge, don't you worry. And this is unfortunately how we learn, by making mistakes, and some of them are worse than others. So don't be so hard on yourself if it happens to all of us. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel. I have plenty more fish keeping videos to come, and plenty that have been done in the past. Also, if you like this fabulous CICHLID Geek t-shirt, you can get it on my Teespring store. I will post the link in the video description. They ship out worldwide, and you can show everyone your true colors. There is Fish Geek available as well if you're not a cichlid person. If you want more fishy content, you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, on TikTok, and I have a great website where you can shop online and see all the fish I have for sale. If you're around Terrebonne, Quebec, that's right outside of Montreal, you can come to my local fish store. We are open to the public. So thank you to everyone who encourages me week after week on my YouTube channel, on my Teespring store, and in my actual physical local fish store. You guys are the best. Thank you so much. And thank you to everyone for tuning in. I'll see you soon. Bye bye!